Ram. Sarvebhyah Hritpurvaka Namaskaraha. Swagatam. Welcome to class 15 of Learn to Chant Soundaryalahari of Adi Shankara Bhagavat Padacharya. So like last class we had individual chanting revision of verses 20 to 30. It was a great pleasure listening to all of you chant the verses. And as always, there were many who could not get a chance within the hour, but we will have more individual chanting sessions. So hoping that all of you who wish to chant will get a chance to chant individually in the future classes. So last to last class, we had completed till verse 32. So let us quickly revise the verses we learned previously, that is 29 to 32. Then we will be learning 4 new verses today, that is 33 to 36. So welcome once again to all of you and to our panelists who will help us with the Anucharanam. We have 4 panelists for now, Charu, Shivani and Vihan. So let us begin as usual with Guru Vandana. Gururev gatir gurumeva bhaje Gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave Na guru paramam shishurasmi guroho Matirasti gurau mama pahi guru Shruti smriti purana namalayam karunalayam Namami bhagavat pada shankaram loka shankaram Soundaryalahari kartre sarvamangaladayine Shankaracharya varyaya yatirajayate namaha Shiva shaktya yuktaha yadi bhavati shaktah prabhavitum na chedevam devaha na khalu kushalaspanditum atastvamadhyam harihara virinchadibhirapi pranantum stotum va kathamakrita punya prabhavati Kiritam vairincham parihara purah kaitabhavidah kathore kotire skhalasi jahijam bhari makutam pranam reshveteshu prasabhamupayatasya bhavanam bhavasyabhyuthane tava parijano Svadehodbhutabhihi ghrinibiranimādhyabhirabhitaha nishevye nitye tvam ahamiti sada bhavayati yaha kimascharyan tasya trinayana samriddhim trinayataha Mahasamvartagnihi virachayati nirajana vidhim Chatushashtya tantraihi sakalamati sandhaya bhuvanam Sthitastat siddhi prasava paratantraih pashupatihi Punastvan nirbandhat akhila purusharthaika ghatana swatantram te tantram kshititalamavati taradidam Shiva तृप्तिः कामः क्षितिरथरविशीतकिरणः स्मरोऽहं सशक्रः तदनु च परामारहरयः अमीहृल्लेखाभिः तिसृभिरवसानेषु घटिताः भजन्ते वर्णास्ते तव जननी नामावयवताम्. We had stopped here. So before we move to learning the new verses for today, there were a few questions in the previous class about these verses. So let me just clarify those doubts. Yeah, so here, verse 29, the question was, is it makutam or mukutam? So like I already told you, the meaning doesn't change whether you chant it as makutam or mukutam. However, we are following makutam. That is what our gurus have taught us. And we are following this. And some of you said that in the Telugu and Kannada versions on the website, it is given as mukutam. So like I said, there's nothing wrong. The meaning doesn't change. However, we will also be changing that Kannada and Telugu versions to makutam. Probably it's already been done only for consistency, to keep the text consistent among all the languages. We will be changing it to makutam. So in our class, we will be following makutam only. Mukutam is not wrong, and the meaning also doesn't change. So I hope that is clear. Then next, another question was, yes, 31. Sakalam, is it abhisandhaya bhuvanam or atisandhaya bhuvanam? So again, same answer. The meaning also does not change, and both versions are acceptable. Sakalam abhisandhaya or sakalam atisandhaya. However, we are following this. Again, this is what is taught by our gurus. So the Guru Parampara is, for us, is sakalam atisandhaya bhuvanam. So we will be following this. And in all our texts also, we will be keeping it consistent to sakalam atisandhaya bhuvanam. But like I said, abhisandhaya is what we call pathantara, another version, and the meaning is correct, and it is also acceptable. It is also the correct, there is no the correct usage. There is no discrepancy as to the meaning. So I hope this is clear. These were the two doubts which many of you had in the previous class. Okay, with this, let us move to the 33rd verse. Shivani. Okay. Smaram yonim lakshmim.
Smaram yonim lakshmim. Smaram yonim lakshmim.
Tritayamidamādau tava manoho.
Tritayamidamādau tava manoho. Tritayamidamādau tava manoho.
Nidhayaike nitye.
Nidhayaike nitye. Nidhayaike nitye.
Niravadhi mahabhogarasikaah.
Niravadhi mahabhogarasikaah. Niravadhi mahabhogarasikaah.
Bhajanti tvam.
Bhajanti tvam. Bhajanti tvam.
Chintamani guna nibaddhakshavalayah.
Chintamani guna nibaddhakshavalayah. Chintamani guna nibaddhakshavalayah.
शिवाग्नौ जुह्वन्तः
शिवाग्नौ जुह्वन्तः शिवाग्नौ जुह्वन्तः
सुरभिघृतधाराहुतिशतैः
सुरभिघृतधाराहुतिशतैः सुरभिघृतधाराहुतिशतैः
उत्तमम्. Okay. Here, Smaram Yonim Lakshmim. So you could also chant it as Smarai Yonim Lakshmim. That is also correct. That is combining the Anuswara Sandhi. So Smarai Yonim is also correct. Tritaya Midamadau Tavamanoho. Nidhayaike. Dha is Mahaprana. Then Niravadhi Mahabhoga. Dhi and Bho also are Mahapranas. Bhajanti. Bha. Tvam. Here we don't split this in this particular pada. We have to chant it completely without a pause. Therefore, I paused after bhajantitvam. As you're learning, for those who are learning for the first time, for just ease, I just split it there. However, we don't split here. We chant it together. Bhajantitvam chintamani guna nibaddhaksha valayaha. Dha is Mahaprana. Here also you could combine the sandhi optionally. Bhajantitvan chinta. Instead of tvam, you can chant it as Bhajantitvan chintamani guna nibaddhaksha valayaha. Shivagnau juhvantaha surabhigrita dharahuti shataihi. Okay. Now let us learn each pada at a time. Smarayyonim lakshmim tritayamidamaadau tavamanoho.
Smarayyonim lakshmim tritayamidamaadau tavamanoho. Smarayyonim lakshmim tritayamidamaadau tavamanoho.
Nidhayaike nitye niravadhi mahabhogarasikaha.
Nidhayaike nitye niravadhi mahabhogarasikaha. Nidhayaike nitye niravadhi mahabhogarasikaha.
Bhajanti tvan chintamani guna nibaddhaksha valayaha.
Bhajanti tvam chintamani guna nibaddhaksha valayaha. Bhajanti tvam chintamani guna nibaddhaksha valayaha.
Shivagnau juhvantaha surabhighृतधाराहुतिशतैहि.
Shivagnau juhvantaha surabhighृतधाराहुतिशतैहि. Shivagnau juhvantaha surabhighृतधाराहुतिशतैहि.
Uttamam. Now half the verse. Smarayyonim lakshmim tritayamidamaadau tavamanoho. Nidhayaike nitye niravadhi mahabhogarasikaha.
Smarayyonim lakshmim tritayamidamaadau tavamanoho. Nidhayaike nitye niravadhi mahabhogarasikaha. Smarayyonim लक्ष्मीं त्रितयमिदमादौ तव मनोः निधायैके नित्ये निरवधि महाभोगरसिकाः
भजन्ति त्वां चिन्तामणिगुणनिबद्धाक्षवलयाः शिवाग्नौ जुह्वन्तः सुरभिघृतधाराहुतिशतैः
भजन्ति त्वां चिन्तामणिगुणनिबद्धाक्षवलयाः शिवाग्नौ जुह्वन्तः सुरभिघृतधाराहुतिशतैः भजन्ति त्वां चिन्तामणिगुणनिबद्धाक्षवलयाः शिवाग्नौ जुह्वन्तः सुरभिघृतधाराहुतिशतैः
Uttamam. Now the entire verse. Smarayyonim lakshmim tritayamidamaadau tava manoho nidhayaike nitye niravadhi mahabhogarasikaha bhajanti त्वां चिन्तामणिगुणनिबद्धाक्षवलयाः शिवाग्नौ जुह्वन्तः सुरभिघृतधाराहुतिशतैः
स्मरयोनिं लक्ष्मीं त्रितयमिदमादौ तव मनोः निधायैके नित्ये निरवधि महाभोगरसिकाः भजन्ति त्वां चिन्तामणिगुणनिबद्धाक्षवलयाः शिवाग्नौ जुह्वन्तः सुरभिघृतधाराहुतिशतैः स्मरयोनिं लक्ष्मीं त्रितयमिदमादौ तव मनोः निधायैके नित्ये निरवधि महाभोगरसिकाः भजन्ति त्वां चिन्तामणिगुणनिबद्धाक्षवलयाः शिवाग्नौ जुह्वन्तः सुरभिघृतधाराहुतिशतैः
Uttamam. Well chanted, Shivani. Next one. Prithvi. शरीरं त्वं शम्भोः
शरीरं त्वं शम्भोः शरीरं त्वं शम्भोः
शशिमिहिरवक्षोरुहयुगम्
शशिमिहिरवक्षोरुहयुगम् शशिमिहिरवक्षोरुहयुगम्
तवात्मानं मन्ये
तवात्मानं मन्ये तवात्मानं मन्ये
भगवति नवात्मानमनघम्
भगवति नवात्मानमनघम् भगवति नवात्मानमनघम्
अतः शेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया
अतः शेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया अतः शेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया
स्थितः सम्बन्धो वां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः
स्थितः सम्बन्धो मां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः स्थितः सम्बन्धो मां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः.
Uttamam. Let us see the Mahapranas and other things here. Shariram Tvam Shambhoho. So you could combine the Sandhi here, Anuswara and Ta, and optionally chant it as Shariram Tvam. So both are correct. Either Shariram Tvam Anuswara completely or Shariram Tvam Shambhoho. Bha is Mahaprana. Shashi Mihira Vakshoruha Yugam. Tavatmanam Manye Bhagavati, Bha is Mahaprana, Navatmana Managham. So this line, please be careful. Similar letters are being repeated. Tavatmanam Manye Bhagavati, Navatmana Managham. Next, Pada, there is no pause because it is one word, Samastapadam. So we chant it together. Atashesha Sheshithyayamubhaya Sadharanataya. Bha and Dha are Mahapranas. Also note the subtle difference in the pronunciation of She and Sha here. Similarly, She and She here. So that for accurate pronunciation, accurate chanting, you need to make that difference between this Sha and Sha. Okay. Then Sthita Sambandho Vam. Sthi and Dho Mahapranaha. Samarasa Parananda Parayoho. Hope this is clear. We will repeat this. Shariram Tvam Shambhoho Shashimihiravakshoruha Yugam.
शरीरं त्वं शम्भोः शशिमिहिरवक्षोरुहयुगम् शरीरं त्वं शम्भोः शशिमिहिरवक्षोरुहयुगम्
तावात्मानं मन्ये भगवति नवात्मानमनघम्
तवात्मानं मन्ये भगवति नवात्मानमनघम् तवात्मानं मन्ये भगवति नवात्मानमनघम्
अतशेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया
अतः शेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया अतः शेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया
स्थितः सम्बन्धो वां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः
स्थितः सम्बन्धो मां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः स्थितः सम्बन्धो मां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः.
Uttamam. Now half a verse at a time. Shariram Tvam Shambhoho Shashimihiravakshōruha Yugam Tavatmanam Manye Bhagavati Navatmanamanagham.
शरीरं त्वं शम्भोः शशिमिहिरवक्षोरुहयुगम् तवात्मानं मन्ये भगवति नवात्मानमनघम् शरीरं त्वं शम्भोः शशिमिहिरवक्षोरुहयुगं तवात्मानं मन्ये भगवति नवात्मानमनघम्
अतः शेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया स्थितः सम्बन्धो वां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः
अतः शेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया स्थितः सम्बन्धो मां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः अतः शेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया स्थितः सम्बन्धो वां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः
Uttamam. Now the entire verse together. Shariram tvam shambhoh shashimihiravakshoruhayugam tavatmanam manye bhagavati navatmanamanagham अतः शेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया स्थितः सम्बन्धो वां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः
शरीरं त्वं शम्भोः शशिमिहिरवक्षोरुहयुगं तवात्मानं मन्ये भगवति नवात्मानमनघम् अतः शेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया स्थितः सम्बन्धो वां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः शरीरं त्वं शम्भोः शशिमिहिरवक्षोरुहयुगं तवात्मानं मन्ये भगवति नवात्मानमनघम् अतः शेषशेषीत्ययमुभयसाधारणतया स्थितः सम्बन्धो मां समरसपरानन्दपरयोः
Uttamam Prithvi. Well chanted. Next one, Vihan.
Ram Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram. Manastvam vyomatvam
Manastvam vyomatvam. Manastvam vyomatvam.
marudasi marutsarathirasi
Marudasi marutsarathirasi. Marudasi marutsarathirasi.
tvamapastvam bhumihi
Tvamapastvam bhumihi. Tvamapastvam bhumihi.
tvayi parinatayam nahi param
त्वयि परिणतायां नहि परं त्वयि परिणतायां नहि परम्
त्वमेव स्वात्मानं
त्वमेव स्वात्मानं
परिणमयितुं विश्ववपुषा
परिणमयितुं विश्ववपुषा परिणमयितुं विश्ववपुषा
चिदानन्दाकारम्
चिदानन्दाकारं चिदानन्दाकारं
शिवयुवति भावेन बिभृशे
शिवयुवति भावेन बिभृशे शिवयुवति भावेन बिभृशे
Uttamam, Vihan. In the same pitch, in the same pace, well chanted, you've practiced well. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Manastvam, vyomatvam. So here, again, there is a doubt with reference to, I think, the 33rd verse also. So whenever Anuswara is followed by ya, then optionally we could chant it as I. Like for example, in the 33rd verse, if you see, Smaram Yonim. So there you could optionally chant this as Smarai Yonim Lakshmim. So that is an option. Even when we say Samyuktaksharani, so you could chant it, you could say it as Sanyuktaksharam instead of Samyuktaksharam. Okay, that is when Anuswara is followed by Ya. Here, Smaram, Manastvam, Vyomatvam, Dvitvam here, Vyomatvam, second is heard. Manastvam, Vyomatvam, Marudasi, Marutsarathirasi. This Thi, Mahaprana should be heard clearly. And Marutsarathirasi, I, there is no Dirgha there. So we should be careful not to prolong it. Tvamapastvam, Bhumihi, Bha, Mahaprana. Tvayi parinatayam nahi param. So here Anuswara followed by na. We could optionally chant it as parinatayan. Or it's also correct to say parinatayam na. Anuswara completely. Tvameva swatmanam. Again dvitvam here. Tvameva swatmanam. Extra s is heard. Parinamayitum vishwavapusha. Chidanandakaram Shivayuvati Bhavena Bha Mahaprana Bibhrishe. Please note here first B is Alpa Prana. Bh, that Bha there is Mahaprana. So we should be careful not to interchange those. Okay, now one pada at a time. Manastvam vyomatvam Marudasi Marutsarathirasi.
Manastvam vyomatvam Marudasi Marutsarathirasi. Manastvam vyomatvam Marudasi Marutsarathirasi.
Tvamapastvam bhumihi Tvayi parinatayan nahi param.
Tvamapastvam bhumihi Tvayi parinatayam nahi param. Tvamapastvam bhumihi Tvayi parinatayam nahi param.
Tvameva swatmanam Parinamayitum Vishwavapusha.
Tvameva svatmanam Parinamayitum Vishwavapusha. Tvameva svatmanam Parinamayitum Vishwavapusha.
Chidanandakaram Shivayuvati Bhavena Bibhrishe.
Chidanandakaram Shivayuvati Bhavena Bibhrishe. Chidanandakaram Shivayuvati Bhavena Bibhrishe.
Okay, there seems to be some doubt in the last line of this verse. Chidanandakaram Shivayuvati Bhavena Bibhrishe. So one of you requested me to repeat this line. What I said here is Bha is Mahaprana in Bhavena. Bibhrishe, Bhr, the highlighted here letter, that is Mahaprana. Bibhrishe, the first letter in this last word, B, that is Alpaprana. So we should take care not to interchange the Alpaprana, Mahaprana. And sometimes we tend to chant both letters as Mahaprana. That is also not correct. So first B, Alpaprana, Bhr, Mahaprana. We should retain it as it is and chant perfectly. Now we will do half a verse at a time. Manastvam vyomatvam marudasi marutsarathirasi tvamapastvam bhumihi tvayi parinatayan nahi param.
Manastvam vyomatvam marudasi marutsarathirasi tvamapastvam bhumihi tvayi parinatayam param. Manastvam vyomatvam marudasi marutsarathirasi tvamapastvam bhumihi tvayi parinatayam nahi param.
Good. Vihan, could you be a little louder, please? I thought probably there's some problem with my system today because everyone I was hearing quite softly today. But one of them has requested also. So a little louder, or if you can increase your volume of your microphone also, probably that might work in case it is low. Okay? Okay, Vihan. Next half of the verse. Tvameva svatmanam parinamayitum vishvavapusha chidanandakaram shiva yuvati bhavena bibhishe.
Tvameva svatmanam parinamayitum vishvavapusha chidanandakaram shiva yuvati bhavena bibhishe. Tvameva svatmanam parinamayitum vishvavapusha chidanandakaram shiva yuvati bhavena bibhishe.
Uttamam. Now the entire verse. Manastvam vyomatvam marudasi marutsarathirasi tvamapastvam bhumihi tvayi parinatayan nahi param. Tvameva svatmanam parinamayitum vishvavapusha chidanandakaram shiva yuvati bhavena bibhishe.
Anastvam vyomatvam marudasi marutsarathirasi tvamapastvam bhumihi tvayi parinatayam nahi param. Tvameva svatmanam parinamayitum vishvavapusha chidanandakaram shiva yuvati bhavena bibhishe. Manastvam vyomatvam marudasi marutsarathirasi tvamapastvam bhumihi tvayi parinatayam nahi param. Tvameva svatmanam parinamayitum vishvavapusha chidanandakaram shiva yuvati bhavena bibhishe.
Uttamam. One doubt one of you has asked, Parinamayitum Vishvavapusha, can we make a sandhi there? So optionally, whenever there's an anusvara followed by ya, va, la, etc. So you could chant it as Parinamayitu Vishwa Vapusha. That is the nasal sound for va, like we say in Krishnau Vande Jagadgurum. You could either say Krishnam Vande or Krishnau Vande. So that nasal sound comes and Anuswara is chanted half. Similarly, Parinamayitu Vishwa Vapusha. That is also correct. That is an optional rule. If you want, you could. Otherwise, you could chant the Anuswara completely as Parinamayitum Vishwa Vapusha. Okay. Next. Charu. Yes. Tavagnya chakrastham.
Tavagnya chakrastham. Tavagnya chakrastham.
Tapana shashi koti dyutidharam.
Tapana shashi koti dyutidharam. Tapana shashi koti dyutidharam.
Param shambhum vande.
Param shambhum vande. Param shambhum vande.
Parimilita parshvam parachita.
Parimilita parshvam parachita. Parimilita parshvam parachita.
Yamaradhyam bhaktya.
Yamaradhyan bhaktya. Yamaradhyan bhaktya.
Ravi shashi shuchi nama vishaye.
Ravi shashi shuchi nama vishaye. Ravi shashi shuchi nama vishaye.
Niraloke loke.
Niraloke loke. Niraloke loke.
Nivasatihi bhaloka bhuvani.
Nivasatihi bhaloka bhuvane. Nivasatihi bhaloka bhuvane.
Tavagnya chakrastham. Tha is Mahaprana. Tapana shashi koti dyuti. Dvitvam here, please note. Tapana shashi koti dyuti. That extra d is heard. Tapana shashi koti dyuti dharam. Dha is Mahaprana. Param shambhum vande. Bha is Mahaprana. Parimilita parshvam parachita. Yamaradhyan. Dha is Mahaprana. Bhaktya. Bha is Mahaprana. Bhaktya. Dirgha. Note this second part of this pada carefully. Ravi shashi shuchi nama vishaye. Ravi shashi shuchi nama vishaye. So we should be very careful with the Gunitaksharas here. Ravi shashi shuchi nama vishaye. Niraloke loke. So this S-like symbol, by now you all will be familiar. It is called Avagraha Chinha. It denotes what we call Purva Rupa Sandhi in Sanskritam. When we split it, it would be Niraloke Aloke. So this A is disappearing. Instead of that, we are getting this symbol. That's because of the Sandhi Karya, Sandhi rule. Niraloke Loke. Nivasatihi Bhaloka Bhuvane. Bha and Bhu are Mahapranas here. Now we'll do one pada at a time. Tavagnya chakrastham tapana shashi koti dyutidharam.
Tavagnya chakrastham tapana shashi koti dyutidharam. Tavagnya chakrastham tapana shashi koti dyutidharam.
Param shambhum vande. परिमिलितपार्श्वं परचिता
परं शम्भुं वन्दे परिमिलितपार्श्वं परचिता परं शम्भुं वन्दे परिमिलितपार्श्वं परचिता
यमाराध्यं भक्त्या रविशशिशुचीनामभिषये
यमाराध्यन् भक्त्या रविशशिशुचीनामविषये यमाराध्यन् भक्त्या रविशशिशुचीनामविषये
निरालोके लोके निवसति हि भालोकभुवने
निरालोके लोके निवसति हि भालोकभुवने निरालोके लोके निवसति हि भालोकभुवने
उत्तमम्. Now half a verse. तवाज्ञाचक्रस्थं तपनशशिकोटिद्युतिधरं परं शम्भुं वन्दे परिमिलितपार्श्वं परचिता
तवाज्ञाचक्रस्थं तपनशशिकोटिद्युतिधरं परं शम्भुं वन्दे परिमिलितपार्श्वं परचिता तवाज्ञाचक्रस्थं तपनशशिकोटिद्युतिधरं परं शम्भुं वन्दे परिमिलितपार्श्वं परचिता
यमाराध्यं भक्त्या रविशशिशुचीनामभिषये निरालोके लोके निवसति हि भालोकभुवने
यमाराध्यन् भक्त्या रविशशिशुचीनामविषये निरालोके लोके निवसति हि भालोकभुवने यमाराध्यन् भक्त्या रविशशिशुचीनामविषये निरालोके लोके निवसति हि भालोकभुवने
Now the entire verse. तवाज्ञाचक्रस्थं तपनशशिकोटिद्युतिधरं परं शम्भुं वन्दे परिमिलितपार्श्वं परचिता यमाराध्यं भक्त्या रविशशिशुचीनामविषये निरालोके लोके निवसति हि भालोकभुवने
तवाज्ञाचक्रस्थं तपनशशिकोटिद्युतिधरं परं शम्भुं वन्दे परिमिलितपार्श्वं परचिता यमाराध्यन् भक्त्या रविशशिशुचीनामविषये निरालोके लोके निवसति हि भालोकभुवने तवाज्ञाचक्रस्थं तपनशशिकोटिद्युतिधरं परं शम्भुं वन्दे परिमिलितपार्श्वं परचिता यमाराध्यन् भक्त्या रविशशिशुचीनाम विषये निरालोके लोके निवसति हि भालोकभुवने.
Uttamam Charu, well chanted. Dhanyavadaha. All the panelists did a good job. Thank you so much to all the panelists. So before I go to the questions, we will quickly recap the verses which we learned today. Smarayyonim Lakshmim Tritayamidamaadau Tava Manoho Nidhayaike Nitye Niravadhi Mahabhogarasikaha Bhajanti Tvan Chintamani Guna Nibaddhakshavalayaha Shivagnau Juhvantaha Surabhigritadhara Hutishataihi Shariram Tvam Shambhoho Shashimihiravakshoruhayugam Tavatmanam Manye Bhagavati Navatmanamanagham Atasheshasheshityayamubhaya sadharanataya Sthitas sambandho vam samarasa parananda parayoho Manastvam vyomatvam marudasi marutsarathirasi Tvamapastvam bhumihi tvayi parinatayan nahi param Tvameva svatmanam parinamayitum vishvavapusha Chidanandakaram Shiva Yuvati Bhavena Bibhishe Tavagnya Chakrastham Tapana Shashikoti Dyutidharam Param Shambhum Vande Parimilita Parshvam Parachita Yamaradhyan Bhaktya Ravi Shashi Shuchinama Vishaye Niraloke Loke Nivasati Hi Bhaloka Bhuvane. Okay. So 4 verses for today. Quickly, I will go through the question. Okay. Firstly, very basic question we've got. What is Mahaprana? So I would urge you to please look at the first class of Soundaryalahari or any chanting webinar in Vyoma. In Soundaryalahari also we have dealt with it. You will see that certain Vyanjanani, that is certain consonants in Sanskrit, require more breath compared to the others. For example, here, Dyuti Dharam, Dha. When you say Dha, you're requiring more prana, more breath compared to the. So if you take one group of consonants, let us take the group Ka, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, Nga. So if you notice the second and the fourth letter, you require more breath compared to the first and the third and the fifth letter. They are Mahapranas. So it is not about stress, it is about more prana, more breath required. So that is why they are called Mahaprana. In detail, the lesson on pronunciation, that is the first video you can watch either on YouTube or on the course page. You will get in detail as to what are Mahapranas and how they have to be pronounced. Okay. So I hope that is clear. Okay. Smaram yonim lakshmim. I already clarified that. Smarai yonim is also an option, or smaram yonim. Both are correct. Okay. Yes, Indira Bhagini, Tiruppavai learned to chant and Shri Venkateshwara Gadyam. Will definitely forward your request to our team in Vyoma and to the management also. So we will definitely be happy to offer as many courses as possible. So specific requests also I will forward it. Thank you, Tiruppavai and Venkateshwara Gadyam. Both are noted. And if I haven't replied to your email, I'm very sorry. Sometimes there are a lot of emails. In case I miss replying, you could always send me a reminder email. Okay. Sundarajan Mahodaya, any Sanskrit class? I'm teaching one now in Vyoma for children from 7 to 14 years. We have 1 or 2 adults in that class as an exception as they wanted to join. That is, it is called Step Up with Sanskritam. And it is based on a product, a multimedia product. And we are learning from the basics, like from Akshara. We've completed the 4 steps actually. So there are 10 steps to learning, but it is a very basic course. If there are any more courses which I would offer, we'll definitely keep you all posted because all your email IDs are with Vyoma. So you will get a notification if any new class is starting. Vishnu Sahasranamam course has already been offered, Uma Bhagini, on Vyoma itself. So please go through the website sanskritfromhome.org and you will have Vishnu Sahasranamam course there. Learn to chant. Every word by word has been taught. So that would help you. Words like hridi, hritva, hr. Okay, there it is hr as in a gunitaksharam, like hra, hra, hri, hri, hr, hr. So that is how it is going to be pronounced. Hritva, h and then r. Hritva, hridi, kripa, krishnaha, all these. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Abhisandhaya, Atisandhaya, I have clarified. Atisandhaya, we are following here. Abhisandhaya, also acceptable. There is another version like that. 32nd verse. Is it Tisru? Okay, let's go to 32nd verse. Tisrabhir avasaneshu. Yes, it is Tisrabhihi avasaneshu. Tisrabhir avasaneshu. That is correct in the 32nd verse. Next. Smaram yonim lakshmim. Optionally, yonim lakshmim can be combined as yonil lakshmim. That is also correct. Optionally, it is not that we have to say it. You can also chant the anuswara completely. Smaram yonim lakshmim is also correct. Shankar Narayanan Mahodaya, I will look at the email. You said you sent a suggestion. I will look at it. Thank you for the reminder. Some of the questions I've already started. I've already answered. There is someone by the name PAB. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but I got this question on email also. What I had advised in one of the classes is to keep your spine straight, as in sit up straight before chanting, or anything for that matter, before meditation, pranayama. All of you who have been following will already know it. So keep your back straight, sit up straight, do not hunch, because your breathing, your flow of air, your breath control and all is the best when you sit up straight. Actually, it was advisable for all of us to inculcate that good posture, to sit up straight always. So that is what I had advised. Please sit up straight, as in don't hunch is what I meant when you start chanting. Posture makes a huge difference. in your breath, in how you chant, etc. For consistency, do we have to make sandhi always wherever anuswara? That is a good practice to make the sandhi anuswara everywhere. To make the anuswara combine and with the sandhi everywhere. But in this class, as we are all, a lot of them are beginners, sometimes I would be, in fact, always I would be telling you the both versions. So you could either choose to chant the anuswara completely, or you can combine. But for consistency's sake, it is better if you can combine everywhere. But again, please note where you can combine, because sometimes we get a question where there is no sandhi also, whether they can chant anuswara in half. That would not be correct. So if you're confident, wherever there is a sandhi, you could combine and chant the anuswara. But please note that anuswara rule doesn't apply wherever an anuswara comes. It depends on what is the next letter, because this is a very common doubt. Okay, recording of 1 to 36. Yes, actually we will definitely be posting. But we just discussing whether we will do it 1 to 41. As you know, generally 1 to 41 is considered the first part of Soundaryalahari, then 40 to 200 or 1 to 50. We would post the audio recording. But for now, the recording is available on YouTube. And if you go through the revision sessions, I would have chanted at a stretch. So we had one session 1 to 20, and last class was 21 to 30. So in those sessions, you will get 10 or 20 verses at a time. Okay, a lot of appreciation for the panelists, Shivani, Prithvi, Vihan, and Charu. Very good job. Thank you all for the appreciation for them. It means a lot. For the Sanskrit course, please send me an email and copy Sanskrit from home at Vyoma Labs, because that's a different course, but it has already started. And like I said, it is for kids. But if you want to join, you could send an email and to the admin team also. We've already completed quite a few classes in that though, but there are many basic Sanskrit courses being offered by Vyoma. Okay, how to hold breath is one question. Yes, initially it would be difficult. That is very, very normal, very common to everyone. One thing is to, again, by practice, start with how much ever you can. Don't force yourself to hold it for too long. But if you chant aloud every day, maybe for at least a few minutes or maybe half an hour, start chanting aloud, then definitely you will see improvement in a week or 10 days. In a month, you will definitely find that your breathing has improved. Other way to improve your breath control is by simple breathing exercises, as in taking a deep breath and just deep breathing instead of shallow breathing. Most of us generally we just have shallow breathing, but deep breathing helps. But again, for all this, it would be better if you have if you're doing any pranayama or breath control. Pranayama is a huge I mean, it helps a lot. But for that, you should do it only under a guided instructor, a guided guru who supervises you. And each one of us, we are very different. So any health conditions, etc., they will know well and they will guide you and teach you. So any breathing exercises, it's better to do with an instructor. But just chanting every day, try to improve your breathing and chant every day consistently, maybe for half an hour or so, or however long you can. Even if you start off with a few minutes, that would help you improve your breath control. Then you will be able to hold your breath for longer. Yes, we will correct in Kannada and some in Telugu, whatever is different. Shivanandalahari also noted. Yes, we will have, hopefully we will have more chanting courses. Okay. Shankar Narayan Mahodaya, yes, I saw your email. I will also forward it to the team so that if that is up to the mark, maybe we could upload those verses 1 to 30 chanting. Thank you so much for that. What is Sandhi? Sandhi is when it's a rule in Sanskritam, in Sanskrita Vyakaranam, of combining two or more letters. So that is very simply put, but we will not be able to go into the rules in detail of Sandhi. So anyone who wants to know more about Sandhi, there is a product in Vyoma, iOS and Android also. And also in the first class in rules of pronunciation, we have dealt with Sandhi very much in brief. So you will be able to get that there. Okay. We will pause here for now. Any more doubts, please send me an email. And we will, as usual, stop with Shanti Mantraha. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarvebhyah dhanyavadaha. We will meet next Sunday at the same time. Thank you all very much. Thank you to the panelists also. Ram Ram Ram.